Australia has decided that your biometric data can be collected by mega corporations using facial recognition technology. They've got their hands on this new tech and they're rolling it out to stores after a massive ruling against the Privacy Act. The OIC has ruled that Bunnings specifically is legally allowed to film and scan your face when you're in their stores, with a plan to roll this out over the next 18 months. So why is this ruling so important? Well, since 2018, stores such as 7-Eleven, Kmart, Bunnings, The Good Guys, Thirsty Camel, and a lot of other independent stores have been using this facial recognition software, which came to a stop when there were claims that this violated the Privacy Act. They scanned everyone's face to catch a tiny fraction of thieves, turning the innocent shoppers into suspects. And now they can continue doing it to everyone in Australia that enters their stores, which causes a huge concern for people's privacy. Retailers have been pushing to continue using facial recognition technology with the claim that it helps fight crime, and even is investing in body-worn cameras in some institutions. The only requirement for the retail stores to continue scanning your face is they now need to inform those entering their store that facial recognition cameras are in place. But the concern for privacy still remains. And from a technology standpoint, having your biometric data held by a mega corporation unleashes the Pandora's box of irreversible threats. I wouldn't give my fingerprint to Bunnings, so why can they use my facial recognition data? These are unique biological components of your body and they cannot be replaced. And this is where we start getting into a discussion about why biometrics are so important. One of the reasons is the official multi-factor framework uses 3 specific categories: something you know, something you have, and something that you are. Unlike passwords, facial data is static and it falls under the category of something you are in the MFA framework. So once it's captured and stored, it can't be reset like a password if it's breached or stolen by a hacker. Centralized databases held by private retailers can become prime targets for hackers, exposing users to identity theft, potentially resulting in spoofing attacks, or even in the new age of AI, deepfakes. So the claim that this data is being collected for security reasons, preventing shoplifting, to me is sort of just the beginning of this scenario. Shopper data can shape buying potential from stores, maximizing profits for these organizations, and there's no reason that once they've collected the data, they won't correlate it against different platforms. In an example that I'll give, your face could trigger a personalized manipulation for not just discount, but ads or exploiting your in-store hesitations, or worse, sharing this data with external people like insurers or employers. It isn't convenience, it's psychological warfare. So in this scenario, imagine you go to one of these retailers, and whilst you're shopping, your facial data is being captured when you're browsing, putting items in your trolley, and you're just going about your day. When you reach the register, you scan your Flybuys card. I don't know if you've noticed as well, a lot of the new self-checkouts, they have cameras everywhere. You can even see your face on the screen sometimes. So now your Face ID and Flybuys are correlated together to form a single profile of you as a shopper. Then the next time you enter the store, the cameras know who you are. They might see you pick up a product and maybe put the same item back on the shelf. In that scenario, you could have determined it was too expensive, or maybe it was something you wanted to try, but you couldn't justify the price. You finish your shop, buy your items, go home. Seems like a normal day. But when you get home, you have an email from Flybuys or whatever the rewards site is, and you now have been offered a discount on this item. So you can see in this example that the profile of a shopper can be built around the correlation of data from all of your shopping habits, but also now your behavioral data of you in the store performing specific actions. Now, I've used a few names there for examples, but they're just examples. I'm not saying that they're doing any of these things. It's all alleged. Think about it like this. When you use social media, you are the product. The site is free because they're trying to capture attention and sell you things. Retail stores are basically doing the same thing. They make you think the items on the shelf are the product, but in reality, you are the product, and your data is worth a lot of money. Retail chains rely on massive sets of data to drive consumer behavior, to nudge you into buying products, spending more money, and keep you coming back to the same store. So you may have noticed, and if you haven't, you should probably start paying attention, that when you purchase something at a shopping center, they always ask you for your email address or phone number or any other information that they can get. And it's either to sign you up to their system or even send you a receipt. This information is important. It's for their marketing campaigns and tracking purposes of what you buy when you're shopping at any of their stores, and even to offer you deals in the future and discounts. You're in control of this data. This is your personal data. So think twice next time about handing this data over at the checkout. I always get weird looks when someone says, I will send you a text message with the receipt, what's your phone number? I'm not doing it. I'm not giving you my phone number out. I've already given it out to enough sources. It's already out there enough that limiting the ability for these people to track and sell your data is important. Bringing it back to the new ruling from the OIC, the data can be collected. It's just that you have to be informed that your facial recognition is getting captured while you're in the store. But to me, you aren't signing like an end user agreement that stipulates whether it could be potentially sold or shared or otherwise manipulated for any other reasons. Without a user agreement, your data could be sold to the highest bidder. So I think we should demand a transparency or an opt-out where possible. And I know that there are some consumer laws that should prohibit this from happening, but just remember, the store started scanning your face before asking for your permission. So who's to say that they won't also sell or manipulate their data without asking either? If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. It does help me a lot. Feel free to leave a comment, send me an email, do what you want, get in touch. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.